I have a uh um what was it miniature cavapoo, which I didn't realize you get miniature cavapoos up until
What's
I
a
walked.
what's a cabapoo?
Oh, it's a mixture between a poodle and a what's it called? It's a Shih Tzu. Yeah, so a cross between a
So it's a
poodle.
dog. It's a dog breed.
Yeah, people have bred it to be a tiny little fur ball, and it's pretty much a living teddy. I look at it and its face and everything. It is a living teddy, and and my sisters adore it, and it goes everywhere in the house, and it gets away with murder because of the fact that it's got that cute little face and stuff, and it just does whatever. But
Like all
see,
dogs.
yeah, see if we were to let that in the wild, see if we were to turn around and go live in the Cairn Gorms, it'd be buggered. It couldn't do anything.
Of course it couldn't. We'll be repeating myself in a moment.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So it's just one of those things where you look at it and you go, got an animal that can live on its own. However, if you turn around and take it into the wild, it's a goner.
Really live on its own, though? What do you mean by it can live on its own?
Like, okay, it can sustain itself if
It can.
it's like
So
you can.
it can pour the food out of your dog food cans by itself.
Okay. It can't okay. It can if it was able like
It
in a
is not
certain.
a self-sustaining animal.
It's not a self-sustaining animal, no. Like, but I mean, some dogs you get like um you know those big
Hunting dogs.
hunting dogs, huskies, all those they can survive on their own. Um, some would say that they survive better on their own, but yeah, it's just an animal that we have created is now unable to sustain itself. And is that a bit too far? Are we playing God with it? Would you say?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, we have created a animal that is unable to sustain itself, and if we do not
Well,
support
a
it,
dog. Well, even wolves on their own can only survive for so long. Wolves are animals that thrive in packs.
yeah, but like
It would be
you
the
wouldn't
same.
turn.
It would be the same for dogs. If if you let one dog go into the wild, I would say there would it might survive on its own if it managed to reawake its primal instincts. But
Yeah, but
what you're talking about is like wild dogs.
yeah,
Uh, but even wild dogs eventually form packs.
yeah, yeah. It's just I look at it and I go, really, that I don't think that, like, I mean, for wolves and stuff, like there's wolves in like North Russia where they just left to their own devices and stuff. But I mean, it's just they are able to I mean, maybe not long lives, not like full on, like a wolf's life under captivity would live longer than a wolf that was bred in the wild.
I'm sorry, what? You're saying a dog will survive in captivity longer than a wolf would
Yeah.
in captivity?
And no. You know, in households, in enclosed environments.
Oh, right. Well, a wolf is more likely to bite your face off.
Yeah, yeah. But I just think that I mean we're giving it more life, by giving it food and stuff and healthcare and health supports with vets and stuff. But like if you compare that to like animals in say if you say like a wild animal where it's got a number of threats to it, I mean it's less likely to survive.
In captivity with threats.
Yeah, with threats, yeah, it's going to live less.
What kind of
Com-
environment would that be?
okay, so you've got like say a wolf living in northern Russia, and it's got threats such as poachers, it's got threats such as bears, um, lack of food, cold, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not exactly getting a shelter underneath it and food and stuff. So
So in an enclosed environment
mhm.
with no food,
No food.
um,
An enclosed environment with food, Medicare, like we normally do with a pet. Like I believe that my sheep Brambles is going to live longer than any um, wolf or animal that would live in the wild, like a bear or something like that. I think it would live longer.
are you mental?
I'm not mental. I just believe that the support that we give it, the food that we give it, because
Yeah,
it
but
knows.
if you're giving your sheep support for this hypothetical experiment, you would have to give the wolf the same kind of as the sheep.
Yeah, I would suppose so. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
What you would get at here is a wolf
Yes,
living in a field.
yes.
Is wolves in a zoo, basically.
Yeah, wolves in a zoo. A wolf in a zoo would live
Would
longer.
live longer than your sheep, which, by the way, normally people would farm, but because it's your sheep, I doubt you're going to be doing that other than shedding its wool when it gets too big.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe breeding it, but yeah, you want many Brambles, but yeah.
A wolf would have to be given the same kind of treatment, so it would be fed to its appropriate necessary, which would mean as you with a sheep, I would imagine you throw the food into a trough.
Yeah,
Uh, s- uh,
yeah. It knows it goes to the exact area where it gets food. It goes to an exact area where it gets water. It's got all the grass in the world.
right.
It's
With a wolf, it's not exactly the same. You would need to get your lumps of meat
yeah,
and kind of hide it about the field.
yeah. And you would need to sort of like,
It's not the perfect environment for a wolf.
and you wouldn't
A,
go near
a,
the
tr-
wolf yeah,
if we, a true environment would be that you would give it, even if we gave it the exact same treatment as a sheep, even though that's not preferable for a wolf.
mm-hmm.
You're still saying that okay, the environment. Mm,
it's right. What I'm trying to say is, I believe that if a wolf was just like if a wolf in a zoo would live long, like if you were to put a wolf, I don't get why they don't turn zoos into farms and just pay people to visit farms where there so happens to be a wolf. Maybe
well,
remove.
they kind of are.
Yeah, but they've got like cages and stuff. But I mean, you don't look at a sheep and then go, oh, that's encaged. The sheep can easily. My sheep can. We had five stray sheep just come into our field before we had Brambles, and they just hopped into the field, and that was them happy. They could hop back out, and that would be them. But
It's because sheep. We have bred sheep to practically require human attention.
have we though? I don't think we have. I mean, they appear to like I've chased after a sheep. I have run and chased after a sheep to force it into an enclosed environment where I can give it food and stuff. However,
You're talking about herding, though.
yeah,
I would mean, right, what you're saying is that a sheep would not thrive in an environment that is enclosed or similar to a sheep's, where it would get
yeah,
where it would get human attention by getting
mhm,
fed to,
mhm,
medical care, It's like what you are basically describing here is domesticating a wolf.
But not as much as what it would be domesticated to if you were just to shove it in a household, like a husky.
Where if you shove the wolf into a household, nothing will end well.
Yeah, I suppose it'll just end up like the husky.
A wolf isn't
Yeah, I know, but like if you like forced it on,
domesticated.
is a wolf not just a domesticate? Is a husky not does this? Is a husky not did this?
A domesticated wolf.
Yes, exactly. That's what I meant to say. Domesticated. Yeah.
Well, not completely.
Okay.
A husky is a pure breed. So we have domesticated wolves,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got the basis of a domesticated wolf, and then we would breed that wolf with other domesticated wolves to create a breed that would be best suited for our requirement.
Right.
For huskies, for example, we have bred them to the point where they were needed to pull sleds, normally in
Right.
cold conditions.
Yeah. But then
Uh,
isn't that just like I don't like when you look at a if you look at a Game of if you look at Game of Thrones and you see the wild wolves, I don't know what they
a
call them.
direwolf, which
A
doesn't
dire wolf.
exist.
I know it doesn't exist, but I think a lot of die-hard Game of Thrones fans just look at them and go, "It's just a husky." Visually, it looks like a husky. Less teeth.
Well, of course it is. They are the dogs that have been CGI'd to look bigger and more wolf-like. They're still dogs. You couldn't get a real wolf to
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah,
act in the
to
same
be
way.
that obedient and stuff. But yeah, okay, okay. Well, what about a cat then?
Cats are the same.
Cats are the same. So, like, if you look at a cat and you go, it's
Cat.
just a softer. What would you call it? It wouldn't be a lion. It would be a.
We don't have the exact same needs for a cat that we do for a dog. We managed to get basically jobs for dogs, like leading the blind, hunting.
Yeah, but then
Sled
why
dogs.
do we have cats then? What's the point of a cat if it can't serve a
Like
purpose?
Victorian times where we bred dogs for pure entertainment to just make them look cute.
Yeah, but why do we then? So we keep them just to look cute.
Yeah. Well, cats are also hunters, so they would be also used in like farms to keep like rodents away
Right. Okay.
from feasting on your crop supply and so on.
Okay.
But that
Grim.
I'm sure there'll probably be like a few other like things we have got them to do, but
Yeah.
that's the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah, but it's not like obvious. Like we can't. You look at a dog and you go, that is man's best friend. It is served as multiple
Well, yeah.
ways. But if you look at a cat, all you'd look at it is and go, it's just a pet. It just sits around the house.
Well, if
Not
you're
really.
talking about ancient Egypt, cats were gods.
Yeah, but why were they gods? I mean, they were useless.
So we're talking
mean-
about Egypt here.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
Ancient Egypt.
yeah, they made that big pyramid. They spent all that time making a big figure and stuff, and it was just a cat. I mean, a dog's better than a cat, because it does more.
A dog is better than a cat because it does more. Yes.
Like
Yeah,
okay, it's if
we-
a burglar comes into your
but-
house, the burglar's
but
going to be more scared of a dog than a cat.
At our point, that is our opinion.
Okay, but I can't see any point in why anyone would see otherwise.
Well, in our modern day, we don't really need animals for the majority of jobs we have now. Like, there's no need for pool for sled dogs.
Yeah, because you get a snowmobile.
Yeah, you have multiple different vehicles that can do the
Yeah,
exact same, which doesn't require animal attention.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I suppose you're right there, but I mean, we haven't created something that could help replace a guide dog for the blind.
Yes and no.
Okay, where am I wrong?
So far, a dog for the blind is, I would probably say, the best functional tool, if you will,
Yeah,
for the blind. But we do have tools that
yeah,
aren't
like a
animal.
stick. Yeah, 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 like a stick.
Yeah,
You get the stick. Yeah,
but the point of a dog is that it does more. Yes, we haven't really found.
but why
Basically,
haven't we? I mean, like we're 21st century, but
well, you would be talking about something that doesn't only help guide them around the place, but also fetch them things that they require, protect them from danger, multiple different scenarios.
yeah. But I think I'm just really impressed when I sit on the train and go to college and stuff. I am really impressed by the the dog because the dog is on a full day job. I mean, it doesn't stop. You can't pet it and stuff.
Well, it's not a well. Yes and no.
You can't pet. I mean, I just look at the dog and go,
That's
that's
when it is working, as in it's guiding the blind person about the place.
yeah,
You're not really supposed to pet it,
yeah.
but it's still a dog. You can still pet it.
I don't. I just look at
It's
it
not.
and go,
It's not like once you pet it, it's going to lose its capability to
yeah. But
guide the blind.
yeah, but if you, I just go. It's resting. It doesn't need some random person just tap it. I mean, mine. Well, I look at a dog, a guide dog, and I go, that is impressive. That is, I mean, no other animal. I mean, it's like a horse. Back in the day when we had horses, running fields and stuff and doing stuff, that was impressive. But now, what do? They just have police on their back and
What do you mean?
that's it. Well, like okay, back in the day, in Victorian times, roughly, they were helping. They were a living tractor, um, and now we don't really have a purpose for them other than leisure and fun and entertainment.
The majority of dogs, you mean?
Horses.
Horses. Uh, well, they're still used for like crowd control, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Police.
yeah, I suppose so.
I would agree. Um, yeah, mainly entertainment, but
Yeah, yeah, I suppose so. Mainly entertainment. Yeah,
um,
animals have become have gone from useful tools to just entertainment.
they've become our instead of our companions, if you will.
Hmm.
They've for all parts of life, they have become mainly just a friend,
Yeah, yeah.
if you
And to
will.
think we should keep it that way. I mean, like 100 years on from when we actually used them for a service, 100 years on, what do you think that we would have actually stopped? We should stop it and just sort of like put them back into the wild or stuff.